Brandon, thanks for being here. So China launched its Long March 5B rocket on Sunday, but now the rocket's boosters is set to fall back to Earth. And this thing's massive. It weighs over 20 tons, 10 stories tall, and it's making an uncontrolled re-entry. Now, Brandon, the chances of this huge hunk of metal burning up in the atmosphere is not very high, is it?
No, thank you for having me. But the Chinese don't really seem to care about sort of collateral damage. You remember a year or two ago when the Chinese government launched the first part of their modular space station, part of the rocket that took it up to space almost crashed on New York. It was, within striking distance of New York. And the Chinese government, they just don't care. And we see this sort of wanton disregard for the environment or for other countries' safeties, not just in space operations, but across the board when it comes to Chinese doing things on the international stage that might have negative implications for their neighbors or other parts of the world. They don't care because all they want in Beijing is the ability to have, in this case, a modular space station permanently orbiting the Earth and to enhance their capabilities in space relative to those of the United States.
Now, you mentioned China may not very well care about this, and you said it might hit the U.S. Can you just elaborate for us the risks, all the risks that are associated with an uncontrolled reentry?
Yeah. So first, the Chinese government, of course, always says, no, this is not going to hit anybody. Don't worry about it. The Americans used to do this all the time during the Apollo era. It's fine. But of course, we can't really take their assurances because they have such a bad track record in terms of safety. This uncontrolled reentry very well could hit another country. It could hit the United States, could hit India. It could hit any country, really that's in its path. And because it's so large and it is uncontrolled, the Chinese really can only kind of guess where that booster may end up. And so pretty much the world needs to be on alert. And this is not a healthy way or obviously a safe way of conducting space operations. When the United States or even Russia or Japan or Israel or India or any other space power conducts launches, they do it in a relatively responsible manner. They calculate where the boosters are going to return, any space debris that might be generated. They alert every country that might be impacted well ahead of schedule so everybody can prepare. The Chinese, because they're a purposely opaque system, the communist system there, they don't share information. They don't want to look bad. And so they're not going to tell us the truth. And as the Chinese space program increases its activity in space, and it is, we're going to have to always be living on edge. So the bottom line is I hope everybody in the world is insured from Chinese space debris because eventually these things are going to hit a populated area.
Now, Brandon, I like to point something out. The larger the space debris, the more pieces that are going to break up and fall back to Earth. So what are the chances that it'll actually hit a person?
Well, it increases the more that the Chinese do these space operations, and the larger, as you said, the larger the equipment that they put into orbit is, and that means that they're going to need larger boosters and larger rockets taking them into orbit. Those rockets, or at least part of them, will return to Earth. They are not reusable rockets like Elon Musk and SpaceX have innovatively developed. The Chinese are working on that as well, but they have this leap without looking mentality, so they're using whatever technology they have at their disposal. So yes, as they increase their presence and operational tempo in orbit, those systems will crash back to Earth, and eventually they're going to hurt and kill people. It's only a question of when, not if.
I see. Brandon Weichert, author of Winning Space, thanks for coming on again.
Thank you.